Hey Linewalkers, this is Jaime from IToldYouIWasSick.com and I have a brand new video for you. This is video number 16 in the Why Autistic People Do That series. And this one is called Why Autistic People Do That, video 16. Wait, you actually believed that? Okay, so this one kind of goes along with the teasing video a little bit, but I wanted to do a separate video on this phenomenon because I think it's a little bit more insidious. And I don't know if the people who... I'm going to try to say this in a way, I don't want to say this so it sounds offensive. It's hard for me to say it. It really triggers me when it happens. So what it is that some people tell outrageous lies or jokes or stories. And when you believe them and you take them seriously and you have the corresponding emotion to those, those stories, they look at you and they're like, wait, you actually believe that? I was just kidding. I was just making that up. I didn't really mean it. And here you are genuinely upset about the plight that this person is going through, and it turns out to basically all be a lie. So that's something I don't understand. I think it's called poking the bear. A lot of people will let's see what irritates you, so I'll just do this and I'll see if I can get your goat, all those sayings. It's hard to explain because I don't know if it's purposefully meant to hurt someone or if it's just some neurotypical thing I'm not understanding. But I will tell you how I feel about it. I feel like in my opinion, it's a horrible thing to do because you are telling somebody a story and it's not true. And it's nothing, this never happened to you. Like you were hiking in the woods and somebody grabbed you and kidnapped you and you were held in a cabin for 3 days or something ridiculous like that. And then the person believes you and they're crying or they're upset and are you okay? And you just, the person looks at them like, how could you be so gullible and believe that? And it's like, well, why would you make up a story like that? What social benefits does making up a story that over the top, or even something slight, to gauge somebody's reaction to it and then turn around and tell them, oh, I was just kidding? Now, I'm not saying all neurotypical people do this. I don't think all neurotypical people do this. But I'm trying to understand what the reasoning would be behind that, if there is any logical reasoning. It might be just that the people who do that are cruel, or they're pathological liars. And if that's the case, well, I'm just going to walk that way, and, way over there is where you go with that crap. So, again, this does go along with teasing. Sometimes people are like, they want to see how gullible you are just joking around. Oh, I was walking down the street last night and I saw a UFO. Oh my God. And then maybe 2 seconds later, they'll be like, oh no, I was just kidding. But when somebody goes on and on and on about something, like, for example, I knew somebody that I was friends with a couple of years ago, and she told me the most outrageous, sad, heart-rending, terrifying stories. And I believed them. I was there for her. I was a sounding board. I was an ear to listen to her. And I found out that basically everything she ever said to me, every word that ever came out of this woman's mouth, was a lie. And I'm talking like really serious stuff. Like stuff that needs to come with a trigger warning. And I found out later on that the fact that I believed her, she thought I was incredibly stupid because I believed everything she said. And I've always been a bit gullible. I mean, I think that is definitely an autistic trait. We are naive, trusting, and gullible. And we take things at face value. So if you tell us that, you say you lost a baby, or you were attacked or robbed, or, something horrible happened to you, we're going to believe you. I mean, I don't see that there's any reason to not believe you. And I wonder maybe if neurotypical people have a better idea of being able to read the body language and the facial expressions, and they already know that this person is making things up, or if it's just as much a shock to them. So I think that this, again, I am not saying that all neurotypical people do this. And I'm not saying that all autistic people fall for it. But it can be very disorienting and hurtful because I remember when I was a kid, kids make up stories all the time. But again, I always took whatever was said to me literally. So, if a kid said I did this and I did that and, or I don't even know, it's really hard to come up with examples. Um, I would just believe them and take them at face value and they'd be like, "Ha ha, I was just kidding. I can't believe you fell for that. Oh, you're so naive. You're so stupid." And it's like, so it is one of the many, many reasons that I have trust issues because, not to say that I never made up stories. See, here's the funny thing, and I do want to address this in case any member of my family is watching. When I was a little kid, I would make up stories all the time. But I didn't make them up to be malicious. I made them up because I like to live in my own fantasy world. So again, this could be when it comes to children, I think that's what it is. Kids like to live in their own fantasy world, and that's perfectly normal. But when you become an adult and you start doing things like that, like you hear about these grifters who walk around saying all these horrible things. "Oh, I've had so many things happen to me. I was robbed and someone took all my money and someone took my car and they did all this," and it sounds like a bad country song. Now, somebody like me, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, that's a bunch of crap." I'm going to want to help the person. That's how I am. And I think some people look at that and they view that and they're like, "How can you be so gullible? That person is obviously lying." I can't tell when somebody is obviously lying. So now, in order to protect myself, I pretty much imagine that unless you're a close friend of mine, that anything you say could possibly be a lie or a joke or you're kidding or you're trying to get a reaction out of me. So that's confusing for autistic people. So autistic people, if you have experienced this, please comment down below either on YouTube or Facebook or Tumblr or wherever I happen to post this. And if you are a neurotypical person who likes to tell tall tales, and you're not trying to be malicious about it, you just like to tell tall tales, can you explain to me why you do that and what you get out of it and what your friends and family get out of it? Because I truly don't understand, and I really want to put all of this into a book, and I want to understand from a neurotypical point of view why this happens so that I can explain, okay, here's a neurotypical viewpoint, here's the autistic viewpoint, and here's where the disconnect is. So any thoughts, comments, feelings, please comment below. And I got it under 8 minutes this time. Go me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I can't find the pause button again. This is becoming a thing.